Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is the first Sunday after the turning of the wheel. We are officially into spring. I know. Even the snow felt different. It was wetter, wasn't it? So welcome, my dear ones. Welcome to this time of worship. Welcome into this space of reflection, connection, and shared belonging. It is not by chance that you are here. Something in you has been seeking. A place where questions are welcome, where courage is nurtured, where love asks something of us. And because we do not come to be comforted, we come to be changed. So may this hour be a place of comfort and holy disruption, a place where we find peace and where we are called more deeply into the work that love requires of us today. We gather as a people learning to live in covenant, a community that practices belonging through relationship, accountability, and shared care. My name is the Reverend Samaya Oakley. My pronouns are she and hers. And whether you are new to this congregation or returning, I am so delighted that you are with us this Sunday morning. Your presence matters. We gather today on the traditional lands of the Niitsitapi peoples, the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, the Iohoda and Nokwuda Nation, including the Chiniki, the Bearspaw, and the Goodstoney, and the Tsuut'ina Nation. As well, we recognize the Métis, Otipemisiwak, Districts 5 and 6. And I want to say that we need to clearly acknowledge that acknowledgement itself is not enough. When naming injustice becomes a substitute for addressing it, it becomes performative, and that does harm. The work of truth and reconciliation requires ongoing education. It calls on all of us, regardless of age, role, or profession, to engage in regular learning, to confront what we have not known, and to understand the histories and the policies and the relationships that shape this land and its peoples. Justice is sustained not by occasional gestures, but by committed practices of awareness, reflection, and growth over time. So today, we commit to that work, to right relationship, to shared responsibility, and to justice that unfolds patiently, persistently, and together. Bring with you the stories that you carry. Let this be a place where something new can be imagined, and where together we practice the steady, courageous care that helps shape a more just and loving world. Let us worship together.
Please join me in singing hymn number 1018 from the Teal Book, Come and Go With Me. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with
Good morning. My name is Patricia Mahoney. My pronouns are she and her. And I was pleasantly but surprised to be asked to be your reader this morning and quite humbled by it. I hope I do it service. I relocated here to Calgary from Toronto back in July. And by the time I got to December, I was thinking, what's missing? Something's missing. I had previously joined the Toronto First Unitarian congregation, and then COVID came. So that messed everything up. And then after COVID, they sold the building. So that messed everything up. So I've filtered away. I've come back around 360 degrees, and very grateful to be here because the Unitarian Church, the fundamental beliefs, the rights of everyone, dignity, value, all of those are my core values. And especially during these times where it's pretty worrisome outside, this gives me grounding and positivism and hope. So I'm really grateful for all of you who've welcomed me here in the short time I've joined, and I hope to get to know more of you in the coming months, and thank you very much. We light this flame as a symbol of the courage to stand together, the patience to act steadily, and the care to hold one another and the world in our hearts. May its light remind us that justice grows not from urgency or heroics, but from shared attention, persistent presence, and the quiet power of commitment. Here in this sacred time and place, may our spirits open to one another, to the work before us, and to the possibilities of love made manifest in action.
Good morning. Who packed my bag this morning? Gonna have to do some more working out. Good morning. I'm so happy to be back. I've missed the last couple of Sundays. So lovely to see all your faces here again. Aw, thanks. My name is Rachel Smith. I'm the Director of Religious Education here at Calgary Unitarians. My pronouns are she, they. I have a spring joke for you today. What kind of socks do gardeners wear? Good try. Garden hose. Before I get into my Time for All Ages, I just want to highlight that next week, Elliot and I are inviting the dreamers and builders of all ages in this community to join us in room 4 after the service next week to reimagine room 8. We're looking at turning it into a space that's designed to hold big feelings, a place where we can breathe, reset, and find calm. And it's going to take some thought, maybe some paint, some elbow grease. And if you're curious about what all that means, I invite you to join us. Now, I'd like you to imagine something with me for a minute. Imagine you're getting ready to go on a big hike. You're very excited. You're with all of your family or your friends, your community, and you're going to go somewhere beautiful. Now, when we're going on a hike, it's important to have a few things with us. Maybe we'll use a backpack to carry them. What would be something you bring in your backpack? Water bottle, very important. Hot day, you don't want to be caught in the middle of the mountain with no water bottle. Flashlight, good things to have. Sorry, what was that one? Food, snacks, yeah. Sunscreen. Hairspray. Someone needs hairspray. All right. Oh, bear spray, hairspray, give the bear a makeover. What about the things inside your brain? Is it important to have a few things in your brain when you're going out for a hike? Like maybe knowledge of the terrain you're going to be on? Maybe some first aid? Never know, especially if you're giving a bear a makeover. What happens when our brain has some unhelpful things in it? Do we always know if something in our brain is helpful or unhelpful? How do we identify what is helpful in our brain? It's a big question. Well, one of the biggest things in our brain, whether it's helpful or unhelpful, is something we all carry around with us called culture. Culture is a word that means everything that a group of people learn together and pass down. It's in the stories we tell, the things that we celebrate. It's what we think is important and how we treat each other. And here's the thing about culture. Oftentimes, we don't even notice it. It's like the air we breathe. We might think of it as just the way things are. It's just how we do things. Another term that's very complex, and many, many, many books have been written on it, articles, there's so much work that's been done on it. White supremacy. The most basic definition is that it's the idea that people with lighter colored skin are more important than people who have darker colored skin. And it's a belief that's been around all over the world for a very long time, and it has shaped so much of how our country, Canada, where we are right now, it's shaped how it was built. It's how we all, it's where and how we all learn to think, even if we don't realize it. And so all of us, whether we realize it or not, we've been carrying around some things in our brain that just came with that culture. And here's the thing, we didn't choose them. We were just kind of given them. But we can choose what we do with them now. So, before we go on this hike, we need to be able to trust our brain. So we have to take a look at what we're carrying around in here. Now, I'm going to get the AV team to put up my first slide. Now, white supremacy, it's a big, big, big term. I can't teach you all about it right in these 5 minutes. Now, if you may have noticed in the announcements, there's a UUA order going in. You can find all these books that I've got up here, stamped for kids, stamped from the beginning. They're for different age groups, and they actually even have another one that I forgot to put up there. It's called Good Night Racism. So it's like a children's story. So like literally all ages. If you're wanting to learn about history of racism and things, you got options. So white supremacy culture, if we put those words together, it's a really big topic. It's made up of a lot of different bits. So we're not going to be able to get through all of it, but just to start, let's take a look in our backpack, which I'm going to ask you, imagine, is it also maybe our brain? And let's see what we're carrying around. Oh, goodness. Oh, there's a bunch of rocks in here. This rock is called individualism. It's the idea that you do everything yourself. You should never ask for help. If you ask for help, it's not a good thing. It's a heavy rock. It's a tricky belief to hold when you're going out into the wilderness where you might actually need some help. Oh, okay. Oh, this one. Oh, that's a big one. You could do some bicep curls with this one. This one's called a sense of urgency. The voice in our head sometimes that says, hurry up, we don't have time, you have to get it done. If we don't get it done, everything will fall apart. Oh, that's also a heavy rock. It's a bit hard to, it feels like you can never slow down. You maybe can't even look around and see the beautiful views on your walk, on your hike with your family through these mountains. What else we got in here? Oh, another one. This one. This rock is called fear of open conflict. Don't say what you really think. Don't disagree. If you do, you might make someone upset, and then everything will fall apart, is an idea sometimes that we're carrying around. So we stay quiet, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and maybe we don't say something when we see something dangerous or harmful happening. Tricky on the mountain. Especially, you might want to tell your friend with the hairspray. And this last rock here I have is called the right to comfort. It's a feeling that says, I should never have to be uncomfortable. If something is hard or awkward, I will just leave, or we'll change the subject, or pretend I didn't hear anything at all. Our friend has hairspray for the bear? What? That's a great musical. I love it. Maybe this rock grows heavier and heavier in our mind, and we actually end up deciding that the mosquitoes are too many, the sun's too hot, and we just completely miss out altogether on standing on that mountain with our friends, because they went without us, and we're like, no, it's too uncomfortable, we can't do it. That's really heavy, isn't it? Did y'all hear that thud when I brought it up here? This is a backpack that we're all carrying around, because it holds the things that we've all been taught in the culture that we're growing up in. We get it from our families, from our schools, from our workplaces, by all the world around us, even if people weren't meaning to teach us these things. And for most of us, we've been carrying them along for so long that we forget that they're even there. But there's a little bit of good news. See, we just cleared out our backpack. We can put these things down. We can make room for other things. We get to choose. Instead of individualism, I got a slide just for the folks on Zoom. Sometimes maybe a bit of rope helpful on a hike. You might need to tie something to your back. If you're camping, sometimes if you don't have somewhere to put your food, you can tie it high, so maybe those bears with their beautiful hair can't get to it. We can put that in our backpack. We can choose teamwork. Rope is made of a lot of little strands all woven together, and that's what makes it so strong. We can say, I need help, and we can let other people walk with us. We can, instead of our sense of urgency, that feeling that everything needs to be done perfectly right now, we can choose a realistic pace. We can look at our map. We can check out the terrain and say, we can't make that part of the hike in 5 minutes. We're going to have to stop and smell the roses a little bit. We can slow down and make sure everyone can get there safely and make sure we do it how we want to do it. Instead of a fear of open conflict, we can choose brave conversations. We can get our first aid manual out and we can learn how to take care of some of those things. We can say, I disagree with you, or I think you're a bear with hairspray. and I still love you. And we can find out that honesty brings us closer together. And instead of the right to comfort, we can choose growth. We can say, this is hard. I'm going to stay anyway. We can be prepared for when the hard things happen with our first aid supplies. And we can discover that discomfort is where some of the most important learning happens. So when we put down these heavy, heavy rocks, we can choose to hold something different. We don't just make it easier for ourselves. We also make it easier for everyone around us. There's a poster in Wickenden that I love, and it says, we rise by lifting others, and we can all work together. And so here's a question I want to just encourage you to think about, just to leave with you today, is what are you carrying around in your backpack that you could take out and make room for something that will be more useful, more enjoyable, support you on your path? And where will you choose to put that in your bag? So I invite us to take this and think about what we will do together and how we will be in community. Now I'm going to take my rocks, my workout, back down to the kids, and I invite you to now join Matthew in singing us down.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sophie Sapurja. My pronouns are she, her. I've been a member of Calgary Unitarians for almost 2 years now and have also had the privilege of serving as your board secretary this year. Thank you. I'm so grateful to have found this warm, welcoming, and caring community of people just over 2 years ago. Being able to come here to connect with all of you on Sundays and many other activities here and in the community has made such a huge impact for me, my partner Alberto, and my mom Elfrida, who's here. I'm especially proud of the strong commitment of this community to social justice work and the real impact Calgary Unitarians has in the wider community. When I think about the theme of this year's pledge campaign, the power of us, and what it means to be part of a self-sustaining congregation like this, I think about the power of community, of building something greater than the sum of its parts. For me personally, this past year has been a bit of a challenging one as I navigate a career transition. Like many who experienced this at one time or another, this has meant making adjustments to our household finances. If anything, though, these kinds of life experiences make the importance of being able to be part of a community like this all the more clear and has made pledging even more meaningful for me this year. I'm pledging because I believe in the power of this community and want to see it continue to thrive for many years to come. Thank you very much.
In our tradition, we sometimes call the offering a sacrament of the free church. It reminds us because others care for us, we too can give freely, helping to fill this world with patience, care, and the shared happiness of a community sustained together. Each week, as the plate passes among us, it becomes a quiet testament to generosity. It is our way of joining together, offering what we can to nurture programs, ministries, and dreams that reflect our shared values, steady, relational, and enduring. This month, our For Others offering goes to the Notorious Family Support Society, which supports Indigenous families across Calgary. Their work shows that communities grow strong when care is shared, when we journey alongside one another, nurturing spaces where children and families can thrive, feel seen, and be celebrated. Every gift we give today strengthens that circle of care. As we give, let us remember, because others have shown up for us, we can respond with our presence, attention, and support. Even small acts ripple outwards, shaping the world we hope to build together. If you would like your gift to go towards for others, please note that on the memo line of your envelope or e-transfer. And if you're visiting today, know that your presence here is gift enough. After the basket is passed, you are invited to light a candle at one of our side sconces or place a pebble in our water communion bowl in honor of a joy, a sorrow, or an intention you carry in your heart. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
Oh dear, did we run out of candles? Oh, we are working on it, by the way. This is such a tender time in our service when we come forward to share our joys and our sorrows and to pay attention to who we are as a community. It is by doing so that we practice what it means to be a community whose hearts remain open. This ritual reminds us that our stories, both spoken and unspoken, are part of a larger tapestry. So let us lift up those hearts who are filled with joy. And today I am pleased to announce that we are entering into conversation with Matthew to be our music director. That is a joy. It's also the first Sunday after the vernal equinox, which means we are officially into spring. And I don't know if you have seen the trees out there beginning to green. I can feel the energy coming off them. Many of us were at beautiful music on Friday night with the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra. And that music filled our hearts and our souls. Whether it's playing games on Thursday night after our community dinner, to singing in our choir with Ned, who has beautifully managed the choir in the meantime. Celebrating a birthday, or the simple delight of listening to the spring birds in the morning. We light this candle for you. And let us also hold those whose hearts are tender or heavy this morning. There are those among us who carry grief that is deep and personal. I, for one, want to lift up a colleague of mine whose grand nibbling died by suicide just a week ago. Leaves behind so much despair and sorrow and questions left unanswered. In moments of grief, uncertainty, or loss, we lean gently into one another, offering each other our presence, compassion, and care. And if you are holding sorrow or tenderness in your heart, know that we are lighting this candle for you. And lastly, we light a final candle of remembrance of all of the victims of the transatlantic slave trade, observed today as the United Nations International Day for the Remembrance of Victims of Slavery. We honor the millions of lives lost, the generations harmed, and the lasting impact on communities worldwide. May the love that we practice ripple out, sharing, making a difference in the world. I was talking with someone just before the service, and they were told that it was wise to attend 5 or 6 services before you determine whether or not to make this your home. And today is one of those services where it's different. It's a little different, and that's okay. We're going to be sitting with the question at the heart of our faith and our justice work. What are we willing to stand for when the work of justice asks for patience, steady attention, and shared responsibility, rather than that sense of urgency that Rachel was talking about, or heroic action? I have to tell you, it can feel uncomfortable because our world often rewards speed and immediate results. We admire the hero who leaps in, solves the problem, and moves on. But real change, the kind that transforms communities, that nurtures justice and protects lives, unfolds slowly at times. We move forward a couple of inches, and then we fall back a few more, move forward a few more, maybe back again. And this is why spiritual practices like reflection and meditation or prayer are vital. They train us to endure, to observe, and to respond with care over time. Let me share a story with you that captured the hearts this winter, that captured many hearts this winter. How many people know about the Walk for Peace that happened in the United States with the Buddhist monks? Yeah. 19 Buddhist monks from the Hungdao Vipassana Bhavana Center in Fort Worth, Texas, started in October of 2025, and they walked 2,300 miles from Texas to Washington, D.C. And they carried with them a quiet message of peace, of compassion, of mindfulness. Day after day, step after step, they walked with intention, not seeking headlines, not rushing, but letting the journey itself embody peace. Their pilgrimage was remarkable not only for the distance, but for the spirit in which it was done. They walked through cold weather, snow, long highways, sometimes barefoot or in socks, mindful of each breath and each footfall. Crowds gathered along the roadside in respectful silence, drawn by their sincerity. They faced hardship on their way. In November, a distracted vehicle struck their support vehicle, injuring 2 monks, one of whom eventually lost a leg. Weeks later, the group reunited and continued together, a testament of determination, discipline, and solidarity. Now, what strikes me most is their commitment to shared responsibility. They did not march alone. People along the route walked a few miles with them, offered blessings, shared food, or simply stood in quiet support. In Washington, faith leaders joined them, showing that peace is something that we cultivate together. Their example shows that the most powerful action is often quiet, deliberate, sustained, shaping hearts and communities, one step at a time. And as we reflect on this, notice that the monks were not immune to the world's suffering. They carried it with care. They faced hardships together. They bore witness to pain, and they kept walking together without trying to fix everything all at once. And this brings us to a practice that I'm going to invite us into, Tonglen. How many people know of Tonglen or have heard of Tonglen? So I see a couple of nods. I see some head shakes. That's okay, I'm going to explain it to you. Tonglen is a Buddhist meditation practice, one in which we approach with respect for its origin and adapt as a spiritual exercise within our Unitarian Universalist context. In Tonglen, we take in the suffering of the world, not to be crushed or to carry it alone, but to hold it with compassion and breathe out relief and care. Like the monks' march, it is a practice of patience and steady presence, not heroics. And I want to acknowledge that Tonglen can feel heavy. You might feel uncertain or afraid that you might be taking on too much. It's natural. This practice is not about perfection. It's about being present, even briefly, with the world's pain and our capacity to respond with care. Our ability to engage grows through spiritual habits such as mindfulness, breathing, meditation, reflection. And you've heard me say it, and I will continue to say it, that is what strengthens our capacity to hold awareness and to act with care. So to help us enter into this practice, we will first sit in silence for 2 minutes And in that space, I invite you to notice your breath, your body, the space around you. And after 2 minutes, I'll invite you to rise and face outward. Don't face inward, face the walls. We will breathe in the world's suffering and breathe out love. Take only what you can carry. Intention matters more than volume. If it feels too much for you, too heavy for you, just breathe. That's all we ask. Just breathe. And later we will turn inward, facing each other, breathing in courage and patience from each other, that shared strength that we have. And in this way, this practice mirrors the monk's example, a shared journey of attention, compassion, and responsibility. So let us settle now into our breath, anchoring ourselves in this moment and in the shared intention that connects us as we prepare for Tonglen. To rise and turn your body so it is facing out into the world. Feel your feet on the floor. Breathe in the suffering of the world and breathe out love, care, relief. As you inhale, say to yourself, I take in the pain of the world. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I breathe out love and care. You can keep that mantra going for yourself. Notice the suffering around you. Breathe in the struggles, the grief, and the fear that you see in the world. Simply acknowledge it. There's no need to fix it. Allow yourself to feel compassion. As you inhale, let the pain settle into your awareness. And as you exhale, imagine sending warmth and care and relief to those who suffer. Remember your limits. Take in only what you can hold. Feel that sense of connection. With each inhale, sense that you are connected to the world. And with each exhale, let your care ripple outward, beyond yourself. Be present. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice the presence of your body, your mind, and your heart. Imagine your breath as a soft touch of kindness, breathing in the suffering and breathing out a light of care. Inhaling, I take in the pain of the world. Exhaling, I breathe out love and care. Take one or two more breaths. And begin to find your seat again. I felt the weight of it. I felt how you sat down, shifted, and I think you felt the weight of that as well. This is a hard practice, opening to the world's suffering. For some, it can feel overwhelming, heavy. Discomfort or sadness or uncertainty may be sitting in you, and it's natural. It takes courage to turn toward the pain of the world without trying to fix it. Some of us might be feeling awe, compassion, even disbelief, wondering how anyone could carry such weight. How do we keep engaging when life's burdens press so hard? This is where the monk's example meets the quiet heroism of patience, persistence, and shared responsibility. Heroism is often seen as urgent and dramatic, a single act that saves the day. Yet the deepest courage is steady, sustained, unflashy. Spiritual practice builds endurance, our ability to return, to breathe, and act. That all grows in reflection, meditation, and care. Some of us that have been around at Calgary Unitarians a long time, just to give you some context, this is my third year here, but I did my internship here 14 years ago. So I do know a little bit of the history. Barry Wilkinson was a longtime member of our Calgary Unitarian community. That AV booth at the back was his. He used to work for the CBC, and he set it up way back in the day before there was such a thing as slides and visuals and doing things on open broadcast system. He was one of those quiet kind of people who ensured that our Sunday services ran smoothly, that people could be seen and heard. His work wasn't flashy, it was vital and deeply caring. And a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from his daughter, Kathy Jean, and she shared how navigating education and mental health challenges have affected her. And Barry's advocacy and steady support helped her to grow when expectations were limited. These were small, persistent acts, kind of like the monk's long march, that remind us that change and care and courage unfold over time. That quiet heroism is around us all the time. Volunteers supporting neighbors. My neighbor shovels my walk before I've even woken up. Teachers these days adapting to classrooms and impossible situations. Organizers behind the scenes and members of Calgary Unitarians welcoming refugees. Our work with the Calgary Alliance for the Common Good and the Calgary Interfaith Council reflects patient, shared engagement with justice. And real transformation is rarely urgent. It's steady, cumulative, and communal. The Monks' March, our Tonglen practice, Barry's dedication, Kathy's story, and the ongoing work of this congregation teach the same truth. Heroism is measured not by speed or drama, but by persistent care and shared responsibility. And this work is not ours alone. We carry burdens, our own and the suffering of others, and we are held in this beloved community. Just as the monks walked together, as Barry supported this congregation and his daughter, as Kathy received guidance to flourish, so too are we. We are sustained when we accept care and lean on one another. And so now I'm going to invite us to pause and notice the ways that we are held and the ways in which we hold each other. We're going to rise and sing our hymn 1031, Loving Kindness. Sing that first verse to yourself. And then I'd like you to turn in to face the congregation and sing the second verse to somebody here. They don't have to know that you're singing it to them. Just sing it to them. And if you're online, imagine somebody who needs that energy that you are sending them. And then let's sing the third verse to each other, looking at each other.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
Tonglen invites us to open our hearts to the suffering of the world, but not to carry it alone, to hold it with compassion and breathe out care, relief, and love. It is a practice of patience and presence. And through Tonglen, we cultivate endurance, empathy, and attentive care. And Tonglen isn't for everyone. I do know that. And that's okay. Engaging with the world's pain can feel heavy, and each of us have different capacities, strengths, and gifts to offer. Caring for the world does not require drama. As I've said, there are many ways to help communities flourish. And this is the principle behind our third common read this year, Social Change Now. It looks at congregations as systems, as an ecosystem, and in that, we need 12 different types of people to make an ecosystem flourish. Some contributions that we may offer are bold and visible, and some are quiet, steady, and sustaining. Every act matters, and no single person can do it all. Think for a moment about your own gifts. Some of us offer courage, others patience, endurance, listening, attention to detail. I need some of that. So here at Calgary Unitarians, this idea connects directly to our stewardship campaign. Every pledge, every hour of volunteer time, every act of generosity, quiet, visible, or not, sustains our shared work, supports our programs, and enables others to gather, to learn, to grow. Across our communities, we see these contributions daily. Volunteers, teachers. So as you reflect, as we come to the end of our Stewardship Month, next Sunday is the last Sunday that we encourage you to get your pledge in. I invite you to think about where you might make a difference, where you might allow yourself to be held by others. This is the work of our ecosystem. Every contribution matters. No one carries the weight alone. And patience, tenderness, and steady presence are heroic and bold actions. Let us carry this awareness into our hearts as we rise and sing our song 1, 2, 3, Spirit of Life, which many have said is our quintessential Unitarian Universalist hymn. And I invite you to sing that song to each other. Not to me, sing it to each other. Ned.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
May the courage we practiced here ripple outward. May the care that we offer and receive strengthen hearts and commitments. May our peace, presence, and steady nurture, may our presence, patient and steady, nurture justice, compassion, and hope. Go with confidence, knowing that even every small act of love makes a difference. And may we commit boldly together to bring more light, more life, and more love into the world.
Let us leave this place, mindful that change unfolds slowly, and that justice, care, and hope grow through patience, steady presence, and shared commitment. Even small, quiet acts ripple outward, shaping the lives of those around us and the communities we nurture together. Let us carry the spark of this chalice with us, the courage to walk alongside one another, the patience to stay the course, and the care to lift up those who walk with us. As Reverend Samaya extinguishes our chalice and candles, you are invited to take a spark of its light into your heart, carrying it with you until we gather again, and letting it remind you that bold, steady presence builds the world we hope to see. Thank you for being here today. Whether you're visiting, returning, or new to our community, your presence matters. You help create a place where everyone has a home to belong, to learn, to reflect, and to act with patience, care, and courage. And thank you to everyone who helped create this Sunday service, from those in the AV booth, providing hospitality for us, ushering, providing music, and words. There were so many announcements about the life of this congregation that we had to include an extra sheet in the order of service, proof that our community is busier than ever. Please take a moment to read through them, and maybe brace yourself for a little paper-induced arm workout. And for those joining us online, the AV team has shared a link so you can connect with one another. And before you head off, we want to wave hello. We see you, and we're glad you're here. For those here in person, head over to Wickenden, just step out of the sanctuary for coffee and tea and refreshments. We'll gather back here at noon for our monthly congregational conversation held on the fourth Sunday of each month. And as you go into your week, may the Spirit of this morning go with you. Let your care, attention, and presence ripple outward, carrying the world's burdens with compassion as we practiced. In Tonklin, together in patience and shared care, we nurture a world where love and justice can flourish.